With trucker strikes and rising inflation, food shortages are becoming a big problem. Don't let yourself get caught unprepared. Buy a food survival kit today from My Patriot Supply and save. Over 2,000 calories a day to keep you healthy and strong, with a 25-year shelf life to ensure it's ready for you when the shit hits the fan. Go to www.bit.ly/CMSPN food, order your supplies today, and invest in yourself and your family now before it's too late. www.bit.ly/CMSPN food, My Patriot Supply.
It is CHRIS Akin Presents, and I, of course, am CHRIS Akin, and I will be presenting today arguably my favorite artist to come out of the late 80s and early 90s, that, of course, being the band Love Hate, and the guy that was behind that is still behind it with Jizzy Pearl's Love Hate, has a brand new release called Hell, California, and he's here to talk about it. It is the one, the only, Mr. Jizzy Pearl. Jizzy, how are you, man?
I'm good.
Good, man. Good to see you once again. Good to have new product from you, man. It seems it hasn't been that long, but it seems like it's been a long time.
Couple of years.
Certainly, man. Well, dude, let's talk about it. It's, if for nothing else, for me as a fan, this is the heaviest thing I think you've probably ever done with any of the projects. No?
I if you say so. I mean, I don't know. It's just whatever came out. You know what I mean? Maybe there's more guitars in it, I suppose.
Sure. Did you write this during the pandemic?
I did.
Okay.
I did, like 20 million other bands.
Sure. Well, maybe that's where the aggression came from, the frustration of being at home.
The loneliness of Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, man, right now you are definitely busier than you've been in a while. Obviously, you're playing with Quiet Riot, pretty much. It seems like every weekend there's videos, so I'm assuming you're playing there a lot. And you obviously have this record that you're promoting and putting out. So do you feel like you're busier, and is that a good thing for you?
Well, working is a good thing. Making
Right.
money is a good thing. Especially after, a year of nothing. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy to be working. I'm glad Quiet Riot is out there, touring and should have a good year.
Right, certainly. Now, with Quiet Riot, is that going to leave you any opportunity at all to tour as Jizzy Pearl's Love Hate, other than your annual, England run?
I don't even, I'm not even doing the UK. I mean,
Really?
I'm pretty much busy this whole year. So if I can fit something in, that'd be great. But right now I'm just sort of working on that live thing.
Sure. Now, what is it, Jizzy, with Quiet Riot at this point? I mean, I know you see the same stuff everybody does, and I know you comment on it more than everybody, where people give you shit for carrying it on, so to speak, after Frankie passed away. When you look at it, I mean, look, I'm with you. If people like it, then people like it. They want to hear the tunes, and that's cool. For you as the guy in front of it, do you feel like it's a band that is still going to be productive? Are you writing new music? Are you just going to go out and play the hits? I mean, what is Quiet Riot?
Quiet Riot is in a genre of bands like Warrant and Night Ranger and et cetera, that can tour continually year round and has a catalog of music that people want to see. So yeah, we're doing new music, but
Okay.
obviously the main emphasis is always going to be on those songs, from way back when, and that's fine. I mean, they, Quiet Riot sold millions of records, so there's a lot of fans that want to see that stuff.
Sure. Do you think that the music that you recorded previously with Quiet Riot that got pulled will find its way back to being out there?
It's been revamped.
Okay.
Basically, Frankie's drum tracks have been, that game Operation where you take the tweezers and
Right.
we've pulled his drum tracks and rewritten all new music
Okay.
for that. So yeah, there's new music, so hopefully people will dig it. We'll see.
Sure. No question, man. Well, for now, there's the new music with Jizzy Pearl's Love Hate. Now, let me start there. What is the distinction? Is it just old band politics that makes it Jizzy Pearl's Love Hate versus regular Love Hate?
Well, the other guys stopped playing 25 years ago, so I'm pretty much as much love hate as there is,
Sure.
other than the past. And it just gives people the distinction of knowing who's doing it. That's all.
Right. Well, makes sense. Well, Jizzy, talk about the songs here on this record. Specifically, you have two songs that I wonder if they were written about people or if they're just you being a storyteller or what. And those two are Soul Mama and Acid Babe. Are those written about
Acid
people?
Acid Babe is about my wife.
Okay.
It's not it's a good song. It's a positive song. Acid Babe, she's my burning love. I mean, it's just metaphors. Soul Mama is a little different. Soul Mama's about guys that mooch off chicks, musicians.
Right.
And so if you read the lyrics, what's yours is mine, and that's all fine. There's a lot of guys out there that live off women, and my sort of take on that.
Right. Sure, man. Well, Jizzy, in addition to the record, to the release, I guess they're not records anymore, but in addition to the release, you also have a new book out there. And as somebody that's written a few books myself, I know that is not it's not an easy thing to put out a book, to write it and to get it all together. So talk a little bit about the decision now to write a book. You were successful with the previous books, but then you took a long break. What brought you back to it now?
Lockdown.
Same thing, huh?
Again, I had time on my hands, and so I decided to reissue the old books and write a new one. And I mean, at the jizzypearl.net, if anyone's interested, I'm selling those books. And it's fun to write books and to have books, but it's also, when you do it yourself, it costs a lot of money. So it's just another way to diversify, I guess, other
Sure.
than just music.
Right. And it does seem with you have more stories to tell other than just musical stories. It really, as somebody that's, obviously followed you for a long, long time, it seemed like in the early days of the web days with Jizzy Pearl, with the King Jizzo site, you were always on the site writing really long, elaborate stories about your history and short stories and whatnot. Seems like you've kind of diversified that now between writing books that tell kind of the weird stories that go through your brain, as well as telling the true stories now, in a more video fashion with your YouTube channel. No?
Another way to enter the new video generation. I mean, it's just, I'm an old guy, and most people don't read books, but I still
Right.
do.
Sure.
So I guess I'm trying to fit in, you know what I mean? And by doing this J Pearl TV YouTube channel, I get to act out some of my stuff, and also I can put my music up there that can't get on Spotify for legal reasons, and it's just another outlet, I guess.
Sure. Do you like doing it? I was watching the video that you put out either yesterday or a couple days ago, and you were talking about how it's still uncomfortable for you to walk through an airport holding your phone and taking video. Is that getting getting any
It's
better? No.
well, I've always thought it was a little goofy how everyone sort of memorialized every shit they took on YouTube, and but I guess in the name of having content, one has to conform, and that's why I'm sort of doing it. I'm just sort of, the YouTube channel is just another outlet, another way of expressing myself, and another way of I don't know. It's another outlet.
Sure. Yeah, it just seems like you're always looking to find other ways to reach people than simply music. Almost like music is not enough for you.
I don't know what the kids listen to these days. I only know what my generation listens to and does and stuff like that. So I mean, I can only speak for the 80-year-olds out there. I just want to do stuff that I think is creative and fun, and I write books, but it's a lot of work to
Mhm.
write books. It's a lot of work to make records. You know what I mean? And not much of a payoff
Right.
financially. You're doing it for the sake of doing it because you like to do it. So it's the same with the YouTube channel. I mean, that's why touring is so important for guys like me that make a living off music, because that gives me the freedom to do other ventures that don't pay the bills like the touring does.
Sure. Is it still reward not from a financial standpoint, but from a just a strictly emotional standpoint? Is it still rewarding to you? I mean, when you get up there on the stage and play and especially like doing like Quiet Riot, which are not your songs, they're obviously Kevin
Well,
and
none of
Frankie's
them are
songs.
my songs.
Right. Well, I mean, with that being said, and you've done it for a while with obviously with Rat and LA Guns and whatnot, where you've been able to play at a high level to where the fans react and they don't react to you as like, this is just a tribute band. I mean, you don't
Well,
get that a ton, but
if Love Hate had sold millions of records, I'd be doing Love Hate. I mean, it's just as simple as that. We didn't.
right.
So I can't or won't go out in a van for $50 a night. You know what I mean? At
Mhm.
my age, it would kill me. So I don't want to do that. So the fact that QR is up to a certain standard of financial compensation, it's just better for me, and
Mhm.
I now that Rudy's back in the band, it just kind of has jump started everything, and it's all for fun. It's fun, and it's making a living too.
Sure. Now, I don't know how. I mean, I know you obviously knew Frankie and you knew him well, but how impactful was his passing on you? Because I don't know how long you knew him, if you were like a 30-year friend that got in the band or, how did that
I
affect you?
Well, when I was in the band with him, and then I left, and then I heard he got cancer, and I had just lost my brother to cancer, so I had empathy.
Mhm.
And then when we got back together, and he played for, I don't know, 6 months or whatever, it was awesome. He was a changed person. He had a real love of life because he knew he didn't have 10 more years.
Right.
So he treated every day like it was a special day. So that was good to have that. And then yeah, I mean, it's just everybody's getting to a certain point where we're all losing our parents, and musicians are getting old and they're dying, and it's just a fact of life. Someday there won't be a Mick Jagger,
Right.
or an Elton John or something like that. And it's sad, but it's unfortunately what's going to happen.
Sure. No, you're right, man. Well, Jizzy, with Hell California, the record's gonna come out. You said that you're gonna be busy with Quiet Riot all year. So do you have any plan at all to even play like a couple of one-off gigs or anything with it, or not
I don't
really?
know. Well, I mean, I don't want to say I don't want to do it. It's just that the schedule of Quiet Riot is filling up so much, and doing 3 shows in a row, doing a shitload of airports, traveling around, it's exhausting, and it's just an energy thing. So I'm not going to say that I won't do any love hate shows, but just for right now, it's just finding an odd Thursday to go play somewhere in Vegas, just
Right.
to play is who knows.
Right. Certainly, man. Well, Jizzy, where should we tell people to go to keep up with you and to get Hell California and tour dates
Well,
and all that
it's
stuff?
coming out. It's coming out March 11th,
Right.
and I guess it's coming out everywhere. I mean, I'm not in charge of the record company stuff.
Sure.
And JizzyPearl.net is where my books are, and JPearl TV is the YouTube channel. And I mean, all the usual Facebook, social media nonsense is all there, and that's about it. I'll just be touring most of this year, and I hope people dig the record. I think it's really good.
Yeah,
And
it is. I love it.
yeah, I think it's better than my Frontiers record, and it kicks ass.
Yeah. Is there anything in your career you wish you could take back? Do you wish you could have Living on Layla back, or do you wish you could have Let's Eat back?
Some of the stupid clothes I wore, I suppose,
Right.
back in the day. The stupid shit that everyone wore, all the lip service nonsense. I suppose. I mean, look, that record, that Layla record, was a piece of shit, and it was done for the wrong reasons. And Let's Eat was just my first record by myself, and so you tend to evolve and get better as you do it. And yeah, that was a learning. It's a learning curve. So
Sure. You say the Layla record, and I know why you don't like it. You've told me this before, but it still has arguably one of the best 5 songs you've ever had with Wish I Had More Time on it. That's I love that tune. I don't know. I think that's just an awesome tune.
I just I tend to associate records with times, and
Mhm.
so some people might think that the record is great, but it was such a painful experience making it that I can't enjoy it like you can, I guess.
Sure. No, that makes sense. I mean, and that's always been a hallmark with bands. I was talking to Tim Narducci of the Watchers last week, and same thing is, he said almost the same thing, that records are like a pin in a map for musicians, the map of their life, and where fans will associate their emotions to it. You might have a totally different emotion. And
Well, most of the love hate music is great, and it's stood the test of time. I mean, I'm totally proud of it.
sure.
It's just the way when a band breaks up, it tends to throw a black cloud over everything, and we were breaking up at that point. We were not friends,
Right.
and that's all. I mean, it's just it happens to most 100% of bands usually don't last.
Sure. And if they do, they're not usually happy. I mean, even like the Aerosmiths of the world, they're not real happy, but they just tough it out.
Well, they're doing it for the dough. I mean,
Right.
there's nothing wrong with it. I mean,
Mhm.
Supertramp was one of my favorite bands, and I broke my heart when I heard that they hated each other.
Sure.
I just didn't understand it. But then again, I was just 16, so what do I
Right.
know?
Well, now that you've been in bands, I'm sure you get it a whole lot more, showing up
How
and doing the
people can
gig.
hate each other? Yes, yes.
Exactly. Well, Jizzy, man, it's always great talking with you, man. The new record is called Hell California. It's out March 11th. And Jizzy Pearl, thanks so much for joining me here on CHRIS Akin Presents.
Thank you.